Page 54, Bright Lights Boogie. It's a boogie woogie. This is another piece that's in your repertoire. You can play for people if they want to. Although, frankly, I think it sounds a little better as a duet, but yeah, you can do it this way. Let's look it over and make sure we got everything covered. It's in 4/4 time. You got treble and bass clefs. This thing looks like it's 3 lines long, but it's actually longer than that. It's 4 lines long. I'll come back to that. I see there's some flats stuck in there in various places, so you got some flats to deal with. The first and second ending, have we had first and second ending yet? I don't recall. They're pretty simple, and you can have more than just 2. Is the first time you play it, you do the first ending, and the second time you play it, you do the second ending. That's pretty straightforward. If you look at the end of the line, on the second line, there's a repeat sign. That takes you back to the beginning to play it again. Well, the second time now coming through, then you'd skip the second line, the first ending there, and go to the second ending and play that. So this piece is actually 4 lines long. In effect, it is. So we do the first line, second line, go back and do the first line again, and then do the third line. The melody's all over the place for the most part. So let's take a look. I'm going to do both hands at the same time because it's kind of going back and forth. So it starts out in the left hand, and you have 5th finger on the F. That puts your hand in this position. And the right hand, when it comes in, it's 2nd finger on the D here, and that puts the right hand in this position. That's middle C position. So that's where our hands are to start. And we start at the beginning. You have the notes for the left hand, then it immediately goes to the right hand, and you're going back and forth until you get to the end of the line. Now in the right hand you have an E flat, so instead of an E you can play an E flat here. Second line, then you have a B flat, so here, B flat, and then you do the right hand, and you see the LH over? You're going to take your left hand, LH left hand, over the right hand, over, and play that A flat up here with the left hand. And then the right hand does these other notes, and the left hand has to come back down to here. Then in the last measure, the right hand has a whole note. You're going to hold it down. That's an E natural now. And while you're doing that, the left hand plays these notes. So it's like so. Then you repeat, do the first line again, and then in the second ending, the third line down, second, third, B flat, then an A, then a B flat, and this you're going to hold the B flat down now. Like so. That's the piece. Dynamic wise, it has an MF-F. No, it's not a choice. It simply means, well, they even explain it. You see this sometimes. The first time you play it mezzo forte or medium loud, sort of loud. Then when you repeat and play it again, you play it loud, just a little louder than you did the first time. And that's all that means. Then you get down to the third line, you see that mezzo forte there, so you come back down to mezzo forte. And then there's a crescendo in the second measure of the last line where you're going to start getting louder, and then so when you get to the last ending, you're loud again. Well, careful, because there's not a lot of difference between medium loud and loud. So take your time getting louder. It might be like in the last line, you're medium loud, whatever that is. The second measure, you might stay there. Just the third measure, you might creep up just a little bit. And then the last measure, you're loud. Don't get loud to the last measure. And that's the right hand. That's what it is. Keep the left hand down. We want to hear the right hand here. So. Now if you look at the end of the second line, there's a crescendo there. It's got the arrow, crescendo. C-R-E-S-C and that arrow mean the same thing. Okay, so here you're medium loud at that second line last measure here. And each quarter note in the left hand gets a little louder so that when you repeat back, you're up to loud. So it's the second time around. And that's how the piece works. So you take the time to learn it. It's just a bunch of quarter notes and whatnot. So rhythm-wise, it shouldn't be too challenging for you, I hope. If it is, it's time to go back to the beginning, to like page 30 or whatever, and go through these things again. But I'd like to play it with you slowly, just to double check the notes and the rhythms. And I'll give us 4 counts since it's in 4/4 time. So go ahead and put your hands where they go, here in the middle C position, and we'll begin. 1, 2, ready, go. Two, three, four. Repeat. Two, three, go to the last line. One, two, three, four, off. There is a duet part for this. There's a teacher accompaniment at the bottom. I'd like to play that and have you play what you just played. We're going to speed it up a little bit because this says with energy at the top there. That's not a speed, it's with energy. I hope you're feeling energy because that's what we need. So I'll give us 4 counts. So put your hands in middle C position and here we go. So I've sped the metronome up quite a bit. So this is going to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So you'll play this fairly quickly here now, so be ready. 1, 2, ready, go.